Hello and welcome to the SDM Foundation's video for MMTV in December of 2022. What we're going to be talking about today is uploading and downloading. In some of the recent videos, we've covered some of the other basics like what a browser is and emails, but something that has recently come up a lot with a bit of confusion around the topic is uploads and downloads, or uploading and downloading. So, what exactly are those processes? That's what I'm going to explain, as well as give you a few different examples. But in just a general sense, all uploading and or downloading means is a transfer of information. So all of the technology that we use, for the most part, anything that uses the internet, any sort of communication device, all sorts of things that you do in your daily lives or that's happening around you is just information being sent one way or another. And the two basic means of taking information or receiving information, giving information, are uploading and downloading. So, a download is when you have the information elsewhere. It's not yours yet, so you don't have it. For example, if you received an email with an attachment. So, I sent this attachment not long ago to someone just to have read folders. Anyways, this is an attachment that exists in my email history. And what I can do is download this file, and then it will exist on my computer as well. So right now, it is just information that exists in my emails. You might be thinking, well, aren't your emails downloaded to your computer? No, they're not. You can look at your emails on any computer as long as you can log into your account. So my emails are attached to my account, not my computer. They exist on a server. This is something that we went over a bit more in depth in the email videos, so you can check that out for more about that. But basically, right now, I don't have this file on my computer. I can access it, but I don't have it. So what I'll do is download it, and when I do that, it goes into my download area of my browser. The file also goes to downloads in File Explorer, which is where all of my files are kept. File Explorer, not just downloads. And now that data exists on my computer as well as on the server being hosted for my Gmail. So that is a download. That is just one example of a download. Also, I just want to mention that download or downloading is often represented by a down arrow, such as here on the email attachment, as well as here for installing Office, and I'm sure that it will appear somewhere else in this video, and hopefully I'll mention it, but if you see a down arrow for a file that you want to download, then that is probably how you do so. And if you're not sure, if you hover over it, you should get a little tooltip that will tell you if that's the case, if that's what it's going to do. And also, upload tends to have an up arrow. Pretty straightforward, because uploading is the opposite of a download. It is when you have a file and you want to put it somewhere else or send it somewhere. So attaching a file to an email rather than downloading one is one example. So if I were to attach a file, I could grab any of these, like this not important file, and now I've attached it to the email, and I'll send it to myself. And in doing so, now that file has been uploaded to my email, and it's on the Google server. So it was uploaded to the internet in a broad term, in a broad sense, and to a Google server somewhere specifically. So I took a file that was on my computer and put it somewhere else. So that was uploading. And I know this might seem pretty straightforward, but there are some situations that make it a little tricky for some people. For instance, if I were to open up my downloads here, and if I were to take anything from here and move it to my computer or my desktop behind me, that's going to move a file, right? So that file was moved. It wasn't downloaded to my desktop. It was just moved from one location, downloads, to another, desktop. And that applies for any type of file. So even if I go to my SDM videos here, I can take this October video file, put it on the desktop, and I'm not downloading it, I'm just moving the file. And this terminology is important because it's important to understand what you're doing when you're just moving files around and where the files actually exist so that you can find them when you actually need them, so that you can send them to people and know that you are actually going to be able to do so. And generally speaking, being able to understand where your data is going or where you're sending a file or where you're getting a file from is very important so that you can operate computers and other devices safely and effectively, and with confidence that you're doing the right thing. So I'm going to move this back into my SDM videos folder, and that is not uploading, it's just moving files all within my computer. So it's because I can do that without the internet. I don't need to have a connection and get that file from somewhere else. It's already on my computer. So let's go over some other examples of downloads and uploads. One upload that I was going to show you was Microsoft Office. Um, I mean, uploading to office.com rather, which is how you use the Office products like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. for free online. I was going to show you downloading Office, but it wants me to pay to do that, and I'm not going to do that. So, but I can show you an example of an upload. So if I hit upload here, it's going to ask me to choose a file from my computer, which is why it opened File Explorer. And I'm going to take this file here from a local folder called Google Drive, just because it's a leftover file here. And even though it says Google Drive, it is in fact on my computer. It's not the Google Drive. So why don't I actually just change that? Well, whatever, not worried about it. So I'm going to take this file, say open, and now it is uploading to OneDrive. OneDrive is the file storage location for office.com, which is over here. So it is one of the apps that is part of the Office suite, and that is their cloud service. So for some reason it didn't work. Let's just try that again. Could be because of the format. So let's try that one. That one seems to work. Okay. And uploading the file, I just took a file that was just on my computer, and now I put it on the OneDrive, which means it is in Microsoft's servers, and it is tied to my Microsoft account that I'm logged into here. So then I can access it anywhere, either accessing it on office.com in the cloud, sort of like how emails work, or I could download it onto another device and access it there. So once again, the upload didn't go through, but I'm not going to really worry about that right now since I don't actually need to do so. If it was me trying to upload a paper or something like that, be a different story. But like when I go to upload the video after I finish making it, that's when it'll be a bit of a pain, and hopefully I'll be able to resolve that then. So just to explain that a little bit, once I'm done recording this video, it's going to exist on my computer, and I will need to upload it to be able to post it on YouTube, as well as to be able to send it elsewhere, like to MMTV, so that it can actually go on the channel. All right, so another example of a download is another Microsoft Office product from the apps, Skype. So I clicked on that before, and then it brought me here. And down here, there's a little download desktop app. And what that is going to do is take us through a slightly different process for a download. So when I do that, it takes us to a new screen where it's got a download button here, as well as the ability to see terms of use and stuff like that. Always a good idea to check that out if you don't know what you are downloading or if you're unsure. Over here, this is a QR code, and this is an app that exists on mobile devices. So sometimes like that's how you would get there. So it exists on mobile devices, and that is how you would get taken to the App Store on the mobile device, either by scanning this, or if you went to this website on the mobile device, then you could be prompted to download the app through the store, which is exactly what it does on the computer as well. So if I were to hit get here, or I might as well, it will initiate the download of Skype to my computer. See, now it says downloading. And that is the progress report of the download. And that is the size of the files being taken from the internet, from Microsoft servers that are not OneDrive servers, but dedicated to storing software. And now it is fully downloaded onto my computer, allowing me to open Skype the app. And I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to stop that process and quit Skype, and then uninstall it a little bit later. The same idea works for Zoom. However, when I do it with Zoom, it downloads just like a regular file. So this is something that also applies to mobile devices. It's not always just downloading, through the App Store, but most of the time you are downloading things on the phone from the App Store, or text messages become files that are stored on your phone. That's basically a download as well. Might be a little bit different, but it's the same concept. And computers are starting to incorporate stores as well. The Microsoft Store, the Google Store for Chromebooks, the Apple Store for Apple computers. And it is now becoming more common to see those types of downloads on computers instead of just mobile devices. This is something that I think makes the whole idea of downloading a little bit more foggy for people. So that's one reason why I wanted to make this video. So now what I have here is a downloaded file from Zoom that is basically the package that will create the software on my computer. So if I do that, it's going to say, how do I want to open this file? So that download did not give me exactly what I wanted. I'm a little confused about that. Okay. So that is a bit of a good explanation for why you should know how to download things appropriately. So this is exactly what I wanted. Before, it was giving me the same type of thing in the wrong file format. I'm actually not fully versed on that, so I'm not going to dive into it. But now I have what I was referencing before, which is the package that is going to create Zoom on my computer, even though I already have it. So once I click that, it is initializing the installation. So I already downloaded the files, and now they're installing and putting them together to create the application. So whereas with Skype, that all happened within the store, with Zoom, this happened just as files on my computer, even though it took me a few extra steps to make it happen. But that's actually a great example of why it's important to know these terms and how to go about navigating these things. Another upload example would be uploading a resume. That's something that we see all the time. It's something that is obviously very important and can be stressful for people, which makes them more prone to mistakes or to forget, the process, which is why, the more understanding you have, the less likely that it is to, happen to you. Another reason why this becomes problematic for people is because they might not know where their file is, like their resume rather. So a specific file, it might be in a cloud, meaning that they would need to download that file to a device to then upload it to Indeed, unless Indeed allows access to your resume through the cloud service where it's being stored. For example, let's say when I hit upload, I'll just continue with Google and then upload my resume. So sometimes in a situation like this, it will also show you some symbols kind of like this, right? Save a copy to photos, add to drive. That is sort of the opposite of what you might see here. So those are for, quickly moving that file from my email to somewhere else on Google's servers. And sometimes you are able to do that in between different companies' servers. So if there were a little Google Drive symbol like this, or a bigger version of it on Indeed, then I could just take a resume I have in Google Docs and bring it right over to Indeed. And that's just a transfer of files from two different cloud locations, essentially two different servers. And there's no downloading needed. But in this case, that's not how it works. That's just something that does exist, and it's good to look out for, and it's good to understand. In this case, though, I would need to either have my resume on my computer, or I would need to, I would need to download it. Like, let's say that this document was my resume. If I wanted to get it into Indeed, I would need to download it. So I'll open its file location in OneDrive, and I will go ahead and download it. See, once again, a down arrow, like I said, it would pop up. Okay, so now I have it here, as well as we can see it's, oops. There we go. It is in my downloads as well. And you can see the difference between the Zoom installations as well. But now that I downloaded my test document, which I can, rename a resume, then that's exactly what I can then upload to Indeed. So I had to download it to my computer from office.com, so the OneDrive. And now that that file exists on my computer, I am able to send it out to another online location or another server, another computer elsewhere. So I'm going to go to downloads, choose the resume, open it, and then hope that this upload actually works. And hooray, it did work, but obviously that upload doesn't matter to me at all. So I hope my uploads work well after this. So that is going to be the end of our video for December of 2022. But we hope to see you in the next one, and thank you very much for watching.